Electronic voting is a type of election system that allows a voter to record their ballot electronically over the computer, and it started emerging in the late 1990s, early 2000s. Electronic voting encompasses many different things, and it has its pros and cons, which I will talk about in this presentation. Types of electronic voting include punch cards, which are like paper that have embedded digital information, and the information is represented by holes, like if the holes are marked or not. Another example is the optical scan voting system, and that is practically the use of optical scanner to read marked ballots, and works like a optical scanner that just practically reads the information off of the paper. Another example is a kiosk, which is sort of like a newsstand or a ticket booth, which is where a person puts in their information. It puts in their information into the type of self-standing structure. What are the pros of electronic voting? Well, first, accessibility. So people can vote from home, schools, and libraries, and there's no limit on why they can't come and vote. Also, it's with the advancement of technology, there's more security, dealing with encryption software, so voting machines are more reliable. Also, there's no interference with any candidate influences or tampering with votes around polling centers, so people are doing it from their home in their own privacy. And it also increases the amount of voters because of the convenience of it being over the computer. Also, there's large savings for communities because voting booths and expensive machines and security around polling stations, these are all eliminated. Also, this will be done in real time, so voters' votes will be tallied as soon as they vote. The cons are, as technology advances, hackers find more ways around encryption software. So even though there is an increase in reliability, there also is a decrease in security in a sort of way where people are becoming more educated on how to hack. Also, there's a high possibility of fraud because who's to say who is behind that computer? Anyone can impersonate a voter but not actually be the person voting. Also, there is also the digital divide because in many countries people don't have access to computers in order to vote online. Also, people who don't use computers will need to be educated on how to do this, and also online voting is a less visible method of voting and more difficult to understand by everybody across the world. It's only widely known in some countries. When thinking about online voting, the important considerations are who is voting. Is it a uber internet-based country, or is it a country that lacks internet access or educated people? And also there's accessibility. Are these people near a computer? Can they get to a computer? How widely used is a computer in the country? That ties into digital divide. Also, can people understand how to use this computer, how to use the electronic voting type of system, and also security, how easily is it hacked. So all these considerations have to come into place when thinking about having electronic voting in a country, in a state, in a province, anything like that. Personally, I think that with more time and research, that everyone could get to a point where we can have electronic voting all around the world. In some countries it will take longer than others, but I think it does have the possibility of being around in a couple of decades. Electronic voting is very reliable and easy to access, so it could be a good thing moving on in the world.